This time we're going to talk about the Class 7 focus, which is annotation. And the first thing that I want to point out is that if you look at your packets, it looks different this week in terms of the setup. So if you look at the hard copy time readings where you're going to be recording this, you'll notice for number 1 and number 8 on the first session that all of the question parts are X'd out. And that is because the first time you read, you're going to read and annotate, but not answer the questions. And then on the second one, you'll notice the selection number is again there, 49 and 50, but this time you're going to read back over your annotations and you are going to answer the questions. So let me just talk about that process a little bit. So for session 1, this is the week that you're going to do reading number 49 and 50, and we will hand those readings out to you in class this week, so you'll have a hard copy of those readings. It'll also be available to you on D2L. You're going to use all of the strategies that we've been using over the last 6 classes. So the first thing you always want to do is survey the reading. You're going to want to try and predict the pattern, and then you're going to actually read and annotate this time. So not just read through quickly, but you're going to create annotations. Now some of the things that you're going to want to annotate for is you're going to want to make sure that you have your main idea written out on the page. So for reading number 49 and 50, you need to have a 1-sentence main idea, just like you've been doing for the computer sessions. You also want to have the pattern written out, and you want to have a combination of both in the text marking, so like underlining of key terms, but also side notations like this, where you're writing or paraphrasing down key things within the text in your own words. So main idea, pattern, key ideas, either with underlining in the text or a combination of underlining in the text and side notations. And then when you're doing this, you're going to time yourself. So what's going to happen this week is your time will be much slower, right? Because reading and annotating is steady reading, so that takes more time. So it'll be a lot slower than it has been. It may even be up to 10 minutes. And remember, those times are located in the buff packet that is stapled to your folder, so you can find it that way. And then finally, you saw all those X's just a minute ago. You do not answer the questions when you read through on this first session. When you do session 2 for class 7, you're going to wait at least a day, because it would be unrealistic for you to read and annotate something for school and review it on the same day. So at least a day later, when you do session 2, you are going to do readings 49 and 50 again, but this time you're going to use skimming, last week's strategy, and you're going to skim over those annotations, and you're going to time yourself reading at the skimming pace of the annotation. So now what's going to happen, so here you were much slower, here you're going to go very fast, right? You might even be back up at 800 words per minute like you were for skimming. As you're doing that, because you're skimming, you're going to want to pace yourself and try not to regress. So again, we're using all of the strategies. They're combining on top of each other, and you're using all of them this week. And then finally, after you've skimmed the annotations and you've timed yourself, then you are going to answer the questions on the second go around. And at this point, your comprehension should be very high, right? Because in the past, we've been having you read really fast and move your eyes, so we were aiming for like 70% comprehension, but now you've read, you've annotated, and you're reviewing, so your comprehension may be even upward of 90, 100%. So that is going to be the process for this week's. And so again, you want to make sure that you're doing those on readings number 49 and 50.